Welcome, everybody, to tasting number 183 of the Saratoga Whiskey Club. We are going to focus tonight on a fairly new brand to New York State. Not a new brand necessarily in the US, but in our region, it just came not too long ago, and it's Hard Truth, the distillery in Nashville, Indiana. Holly and I were able to visit with them in January, kind of, unannounced. We just signed up for a regular tour, showed up, and the place was pretty quiet. You know, it's January. It's not really a popular tourist time to be running around middle of Indiana. There was a lot of snow that had just come down that week. And their restaurant, which is a big part of their campus or facility, was under renovation. So there were people weren't coming to eat either. So it was a pretty quiet time to be there, which was great for us because it didn't take long for them to kind of catch on that we knew a little bit about whiskey. Again, we didn't say anything, or we weren't, that wasn't our intention, but before we knew it, they were kind of rolling out the red carpet and taking us around, and which was amazing. It was really a fun visit. Sometimes those are the best, you know, you just show up and you don't know, you don't have expectations, and sometimes it works out really well. And this was one of those cases. And we did get to try a lot of their whiskey at the time, just little samples. And it was all very good. And we were very excited to carry them in the shop. And it always helps to have their whiskey in the shop when we've been able to visit the distillery and know a little bit more about what they do there and are they legit or not. And they definitely are legit. So I'm going to actually share. If you want, we can go ahead and pour the sweet mash bourbon. How about I talk about that and then I'll show you the pictures. So the sweet mash bourbon is what we're going to start with. That's the only bourbon we're doing tonight. Everything else is a rye in this tasting. And the sweet mash bourbon is a small batch product. And when we say small batch, for them, that means 30 or fewer barrels. They do use 53-gallon barrels. We were able to go into some of their rick houses and check it out. The mash bill on the bourbon, it's quite high corn. It's 73% corn, 19% rye, and 8% malted barley. This is all made at their location. None of this is brought in from other places. You know, when we talk about Indiana, obviously, MGP or Ross and Squibb gets mentioned a lot because they make the majority of whiskey in Indiana. However, a lot of distilleries, including Hard Truth and Starlight and others, are making a lot of their own now as well. So this one is bottled at 90 proof, so not a very high proof, a good one to start with. And cheers to Hard Truth, and hope you enjoy these whiskeys tonight. But I'm going to go ahead and pull up some photos and share my screen here. I'm going to actually do the video first, I think, because it's kind of a cool introduction. Let's see here if I can find it. Put it in. Oh, wait, not that folder. Playlist. There we go. Bourbon. There we go. I'm going to play this one here. It's just a minute long, so it's not going to torture you too bad. Looks like there might be an ad that's going to come up first here, possibly. Oh, no. All right, what's taking so long?
The
Here, hold on.
easy out, the quick fix. The easy out, the quick fix, the shortcut. It's all a foreign language to us at Hard Truth Distilling, where we make spirits with no caveats and no compromises. We're proud to be Indiana's finest craft spirits brand, plying our trade in the scenic hills of Brown County. Here, bedrock aquifers provide us with pure, fresh water, complementing the native Indiana grains that go into the pioneering spirits we craft. Using only the highest quality ingredients, hard-won know-how, and yes, patience. It's no easy task, but it's the hard truths that ring most clearly. Hard Truth Distilling Company.
Okay, that was a little bit of that. Let me show you this this little deck here, and I'll read a little bit about the distillery. So Holly and I actually stayed not too far outside of the distillery, about 20 minutes or so, in Bloomington, Indiana. Hard Truth is located in Nashville, Indiana, but there was a company called Big Woods Pizza Company that we had heard about in Bloomington, and basically became a pretty popular restaurant, and they did really well, and they opened up locations kind of all over Indiana. And the idea came across that the owners of the restaurant wanted to open a distillery. So this was back in 2015 when they began distilling actually in the upper rooms of Big Wood Pizza Company in downtown Nashville, Indiana. And then the tiny craft distillery grew. And by 2017, they began construction on this new facility, the one that we saw the video on, which is a wooded 325-acre property about a mile away from Hard Truth's original home. And this is called the Hard Truth Campus. So they started distilling, and in the fall of 2018, they made the move to its brand new state-of-the-art sweet mash distillery. So that was just 7 years ago, where it's been producing spirit ever since. Let's see here. Yeah, so you can kind of see here's Indianapolis. So straight south, basically, there's Bloomington, which is where University of Indiana is located. This is just some photos from Holly that she took. There was quite a bit of snow on the ground when we went in January. And one of the things that they're known for is right on the bottle. It's their sweet mash, which basically means that they clean everything out in between distillation or in between batches. So, you know, a lot of people are doing sour mash because it's a little bit easier. You're just doing this continuous kind of process using a little bit of the old mash with the new, and you're getting kind of like a sourdough starter thing going with the enzymes to continue the fermentation process of these mashes. But Hard Truth, they're doing the more expensive way, which is literally cleaning everything out in between and starting fresh each time. A few other distilleries that we really enjoy and like that do sweet mash include Peerless in Louisville. They're very well known for their sweet mash, and Wilderness Trail south of Lexington. They do a sweet mash process as well, but it's quite a bit more expensive. So there's a, you know, I think there's some good qualities that come out of sweet mash that, you know, do cost a little bit more to do, but really cool facility. You know, the stills are here on the left. They have these really two tall column stills with this pot still kind of in between. Their barrels are all stored upright. There's a picture of the pot still you can see there on the bottom.
Okay.
Holly, do you have anything you want to say about the process that they do and what kind of stood out for you?
It looks like the bottom slide was supposed to be videos, but it looks like it didn't
Oh,
work.
oh,
So
okay.
I can maybe show that too. But that one story, well, first of all, obviously the restaurants must be doing pretty well because you saw the size of that facility in less than 10 years. I mean, Charles and I had heard about the brand But I don't know about you, Charles, but I was pretty shocked at the capacity
Oh yeah.
and the scale. There's some, yeah. And there were a couple partners involved in the restaurant that are a part of the distillery, and we met one or two of them,
Yeah.
um, which was great. But I remember asking where the name Hard Truth came from. Do you remember that story? And I thought it was going to be, some life story about, life's hard or, truth is hard. But it came from one of the founders saw a billboard for a DWI lawyer. And it said something to the effect of like getting a DWI, it's the hard truth. And they liked that slogan. So
That's just
they
great.
named Hard Truth. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting that you saw it on a DWI billboard,
Yeah, I'll
but
probably want to use that.
not very inspirational.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're trying to say there.
I don't know.
I did have a question. It's
Mm.
more expensive just in terms of time and labor, or does it need more yeast, or what? Why is it more expensive?
It's more about time and labor. It is just the cleaning in between, and
Mhm.
um, there's less
Water. Yeah.
there's less consistency too, which it can be good or bad depending on how well they're making their product. But it's definitely just a little bit more expensive process
Mhm.
because of the cleaning that it takes. Especially like at we visited Wilderness Trail a few times now, and they're really, really big. And to clean out their tanks, and fermentation and mash tun, all of that is just
Mhm.
a lot of work, So I think it does make a difference, though. I actually prefer sweet mash in a way. I love Peerless. I think what Peerless is making is great. And Hard Truth was really impressive as well. So this is kind of, this is an entry level bottle. What does this go for, Holly? This is pretty inexpensive, right? This is
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in it's a lot of that. You get the corn, that cola
65,
chocolate.
65.99. So it's not like
Mhm.
It's right here.
it's not cheap, but it's not super high. But it is a 90 proof. So, it's good for people who are maybe just kind of getting into bourbon as well.
Mhm.
And it has a little bit more of a grain characteristic, when you nose it too. You're definitely getting a little bit kind of that earthiness, the grain characteristic. It's maybe not as sweet on the nose as it is on the palate. It's a little bit more musty maybe on the nose.
I think the finish is pretty dry. It's dry, medium finish. And even though it's got a lot of corn, it's got a nice balance with the rye spiciness. You're getting enough of that rye.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean it's an easy sipper, I mean it's not gonna knock your socks off, but it's not gonna disappoint either. It's that kind of in between easy drinker. What I really like about it is that it's clean. It is very clean, but it's theirs as well. It's actually a good product that they're making versus coming from somewhere else, or so that's definitely a fun thing.
Did we have an age statement on that? Okay.
No age statement. No, actually, none of these have age statements on them that we're drinking tonight.
Mhm. I thought it was interesting the way they use the electric drill in a small bit to
Yeah,
sample.
we've done that before, drilled
Yeah.
into barrels, and it's actually quite fun. You have to drill a hole up top first
For air, yeah.
for the air, and then drill below it. The bottles are actually pretty nice too. They've got these fat kind of heads on them and fat cork. The cork's kind of cool. No wax.
Mhm.
Um, but I think it's a pretty attractive bottle. It's got even the embossed or indented writing on the back. Um,
Does it say less than, what does it say on the back? Less than 2 years old or nothing?
It's not saying anything about age
Okay.
anywhere on
So
here.
that you only have to declare if it's
Less
under
than 2.
2.
Yeah.
So it's older.
I mean, they do call
Yeah.
it straight, so we know it is at least 2 straight
Yeah.
bourbon. I'm guessing it's probably 4 to 5.
Yeah.
I think in that range.
Which is kind of your standard
Yeah, I think
for a
most
bourbon.
distilleries now are kind of in that ballpark for a core product, for their baseline product. Okay, we're going to move now into rye, and this is where they get kind of really crazy because they have lots of different mash bills that they use, which is fun, but also can be confusing. But we found it fun just because they're trying to be different as well and mix things up and play around with different types of barrels. And we're going to talk all about this. But the one we're drinking next is actually even lower proof. This is their entry level rye whiskey. It's called their High Road Rye. This one's only 93 proof. So we've dropped, oh, actually it's higher. Sorry. I thought it was lower proof. Oh yeah, no, it's a little higher proof than the bourbon. So this is also a small batch, so 30 barrels more or less. An interesting mash bill though. This one is only 55% rye. So it's barely over the minimum required to be a rye, which is 51%. It's 36% corn and 9% malted barley. So when you think about it before you even taste it, it's probably going to be a sweet rye because of that corn, high corn content. This would be a high corn rye, not a high rye bourbon.
This would be brutal to tell the difference from a bourbon from a rye in the calendar.
Oh yeah, it could be difficult. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially at a lower proof too. Sometimes that makes it harder. If it was a higher proof, maybe the rye would stand out a little more.
The rye shows up on the finish though. It's kind of like a dirty trick, this one, at least for my palate.
He's got a very interesting nose. Almost, this would really throw me, to see if it was even, a rye, or a bourbon.
This
So
is
a lot
yeah.
of cherries.
This is a really good one for somebody who's maybe not used to rye or wants to get into rye because of that sweetness and the proof. And this one's easy drinking as well, for sure. This one's a little scary, to tell you the truth. The hard truth.
Wow, that's good.
And this one's $55.99. So again, right in that easy, sweet spot, lots of flavor for sure. 93 proof's not bad. You don't always need to have over 50% ABV. If you're wanting to hang out for a while, so this is one of those that would be good at a party. Especially, for non-rye drinkers, this would be great to introduce them. And what are you laughing at, Holly?
I don't know. We always say like for a party, but like I just picture people going to like a big frat party with a bottle of Hard Truth. I don't know.
This is one my daughter's going to be buying.
Little flashback there, Holly.
I don't know. It sounded funny when he said it.
I was thinking more of a dinner party, but
a get together.
And I was laughing because the last dinner party we brought it to, which was Tuesday, picked up the bottle of Leo, which is under 120 proof, but it went over well.
Yeah. My tasting notes at the distillery, I guess I wrote them down, for this one were figs, cashews, oats, honey nut Cheerios, spice, and toasted oak on the finish. Yeah, it was like breakfast.
It definitely has that honey nut Cheerio vibe going on. That's for sure. that corn honeyness comes through quite strong, probably from the barrel as well. But yeah, we've become pretty big fans of the low rye ryes. It's kind of fun, whether it's malted barley, that's the other component, or whether it's corn. They're usually pretty good. And this one has a pretty nice mouthfeel too for just 93 proof. The finish lasts longer on this one, Vinny, than the bourbon, I think.
Yeah, it does. It's got a longer finish. And a lot of people when they come here, they will not try rye. Or they've tried it once and they don't like it, they'll never try it again. But if I put this in a glass and I didn't tell them what it is, they might actually
Yeah.
it's not overly spicy. It doesn't get that spiciness. Some people, for them, it burns their tongue. I mean, that's what I like about rye. And my brother, he's a big rye fan. The spicier, the better. Just give it to him.
So
But
on the back of this one, it just on the bottom, it does say aged over 3 years. So the bourbon one didn't say that anywhere. And the bourbon one, by the way, got a 92 gold at the World Spirits Competition in 2024. They even have a little tag on it. So that says something there. Sometimes these awards matter. Sometimes they're just for show. But all right, everybody doing pretty good? Too fast, too slow? Yeah, thumbs up. All right, here's where we're going to get into the higher proof stuff. So basically what we're drinking next is the High Road Rye. Well, actually, I could be wrong on that. The base is the Hard Truth Sweet Mash Rye, which I guess would be the High Road Rye. It's just that barrel proof. This is their mash bill of RW1. And this is 60.3%. So we're now over 120 proof. So we've jumped a lot for this next one. Did you find something, Holly, that had like the breakdown of the RWs by chance?
Oh, I was looking at the one specific bottle.
Because
I'll
this
look now.
this is 30 barrels, so we know that. They even tell you which rack house it was, rack house number 2, what batch number. This is batch number 10. I'm assuming that RW1 is this
Oh,
mash bill is the High Road Rye.
no, it's actually not.
Oh, okay.
I think High Road Rye is like its own.
Oh, okay.
Remember, that's where it got confusing. They have all the acronyms, but then they have all these other
Yeah.
names that don't have an acronym. But the Sweet Mash Rye is completely different. It's 94% rye, 6% malted barley.
Oh, so this is high rye, high rye. 94.6. Okay. At 120 proof.
Mhm. Now, everything they do is sweet mash?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
the nose doesn't blow you away. It doesn't. There's not a lot of alcohol coming out, but I'm not getting much on the nose, in fact.
I think you might need some on your palate before you're going to get it on the nose. I mean, there's definitely a lot of alcohol coming off of this. Maybe that's blocking some of the notes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oof. Yeah. Just had to do it backwards, but I'm getting it now.
There's a nice creaminess to their ryes that I like. I mean, there's still some dryness in all of their whiskeys too, but
Mm.
I don't know. There's like that mouth sticky where you just keep kind of clicking your tongue. There's a stickiness to their whiskeys.
This also has that cereal note to it. It does. Must be the barley. Not as much as the other one, but it's there. It's faint.
This would be really, really good in a Manhattan. Oh my God, this would be delicious. I mean, this is great on its own, but I can just imagine it with a Manhattan. It would probably be really, really good. This one's a little more expensive. This is $79.99.
Not bad.
These three are all available in New York. At the moment, we have all three of these, but we only have like one bottle, I think, of each. But we can bring back in more. Actually, it's a good thing to have during the summer. It's a fairly hot brand right now. You know, Hard Truth is starting to become recognized in a lot of the bourbon circles and American whiskey circles. So I'm sure they're going to do really well going forward.
They had a number of their blends or whiskeys in the Whiskey Advocate magazine rated.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're getting name recognition there also.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's a big thing in Whiskey Advocate, you know, to be in there, and definitely a lot of viewers, readers.
This is nice. The more I drink it, the more I like it.
Yeah.
My favorite so far.
I see what everyone's saying about the grain. I must have been in a really good mood at the distillery because everything was just sweet, sweet, sweet in my tasting notes from the distillery, which there's still sweetness, you know, cola and chocolate and things like that. But my tasting notes are quite hilarious. You must have been driving that day. I was probably drinking most of the.
I don't find it sweet. I think there's a good balance to them.
Yeah. But I mean,
Try to keep
for this
it.
one, last time I wrote Cocoa Puffs, which I guess that's grain, you know, that like cocoa crispy Cocoa Puffs with milk, mocha, whipped cream. Yeah, I just wrote creamy Cocoa Puffs.
The RW1 is a mash bill designation or just
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
They really don't have 346 different mash bills, do
No,
they?
no. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then they mix
Them together.
them together.
Oh,
So
so that's a 3, a 4, and a 6 together?
exactly.
Ah,
Yeah.
thank you.
I think as they grow as a brand, we'll see some sort of chart similar to Four Roses that can help us
Right.
understand what we're drinking.
Right. Yeah. Or at least put it on the bottle or something, you know, it'd be nice to.
I know everything's just our classic RW2, and it's like I don't even know what the components are to build.
It's like a Star Wars character, you know.
Yeah.
R2D2.
Mm.
We're drinking C3PO tonight. I saw a really funny video today. I don't know if any of you guys are on social media, but there's like one of a Scottish guy introducing the Star Wars movie, and it is so funny. I mean, it's all about Darth Vader and how he started, and it's all in, you know, talking about places in Scotland and how he got the mask, and it's really great. I don't know where that came from, but I think it's the C3PO brought that up.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody like this? We all hated this one, right? For sure. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. No one's gonna buy that bottle.
Very good.
Thumbs down. Yeah, Audrey is afraid to even show herself after last night's tasting. So
You know, my clothes are still drying right now.
Wait, I missed this. What happened?
I got something spilt on me at the end of the night. Not my fault, but
no,
nonetheless.
all Quaid. Yeah. I was coming to the table and Quaid was passing the menu or something over to me and knocked
Over my cider.
Audrey's cider all over herself. So yeah, not a
Okay, I got these disposable ponchos, and I'll be bring them next time I know Quaid is around.
Well, Quaid's mother-in-law is on with us
I
tonight.
see VJ. Hey, VJ.
Yeah, I've been a restricted this week. I wasn't allowed to drive until today because of my cataracts. But next week I'll be back to full debauchery.
I need to go get my water, so just hang on one second.
So, Vinny, now you're having a different when you're looking at a whiskey, the color, your color perception is different.
I can actually see better, but what I'm afraid is I'm going to really suck at bocce because now I can see the bowl. You know, that's
Uh,
yeah. Well,
okay.
You can always close your eyes.
yeah, I can't play for another week, but right now, for some strange reason, I'm the best on the team.
Or
So,
take your glasses off when you do it, you know.
yeah, maybe might not need them anymore after they do the other eye. We'll see.
Great.
Okay, we're going to move on to our last three. So we are still in the rye world. We're going to be in the rye world for the rest here. This one is called, what's the big difference here? All right, so this one's called the Master Distiller's Reserve Sweet Mash Rye. Batch size is a little smaller. This is 20 barrels. And this is the blended mash bills of RW 3, 4, and 6.
So
I
I'll
have it here. It's on the
oh
bottle.
yeah, oh okay. Yeah, it's the chocolate malt, caramel malt, and malted rye.
Yeah. So says a perfect marriage of our 3 award-winning Master Distillers Reserve Rye whiskeys presented at cash strength. So you have RW3, which is the chocolate malt. And Holly, when it says chocolate malt, is that
It's roasted.
That's the barley component.
It's a level of roasting.
Yeah, and you could do it to the rye grain too. Think of Mad River. So let me look it up to see what they're roasting.
I'm pretty sure it is the rye because the RW6 is malted rye.
Okay, yeah. So they're doing that
RW3 is chocolate malt, which makes up 20% of this blend. RW4 is caramel malt, which makes up 50% of this blend. And RW6 is the malted rye. You know what? Maybe it is the barley. No, I don't.
Yeah, if they're saying malt, they're talking about
maybe
the
it is
barley.
barley.
I didn't know they were saying, yeah. So they're talking about the barley.
But is it really just the 6%?
Would
Well,
seem.
you'd have to look up the percentages for each of those. No, so like that's the percentage of what went into that blend.
I
I don't know the mash bills for the
You don't
individual.
think the mash bill is 94.6 for these other?
It's a different recipe. Let me look.
Sorry, guys. This one is 115 proof. So 57.5%. I did buy this at the distillery, but this one is also available in New York, which I was surprised. We don't have it, but we can get it.
What'd you pay for it?
It was probably like close to, it was under 100, but close to 100, somewhere in that upper $80-$90 range, I think. I can't remember exactly, but I think all 3 of these last ones were in that world. Maybe they were a little bit, maybe one of these was a little more. I can't remember.
I get more alcohol on the nose than I did with the higher proof one.
Oh, here Holly says, so the mash bill of the chocolate malt is 51% rye. So very,
I'm getting the rest now.
38 corn, 11% chocolate malted barley.
Then the caramel malt.
You're right, Peter. On the nose, the alcohol is coming through a little bit more.
This is the caramel malt.
Caramel malt looks to be the same mash bill, just with caramel malted barley instead of chocolate. 51% rye.
I'm getting the chocolate definitely on the palate.
Then the malted rye.
54.46. 54 rye, 46 malted rye.
That sounds cool. Did we try that on its own?
I don't know. Oh,
That
this is
sounds
really good
good.
though. I like this one. I remember this one now.
So that's 100%. The third one is 100% rye.
Rye, yeah, it's just
Ah,
it's malted. Mm, this is really tasty. I one of the bottles Holly bought, which is not in this tasting, is she got a bottle of the caramel malt. And that was really good on its own too.
mm,
This one's pretty good though.
yep.
Yeah, it's not as much oak. I mean, it's still dry, but there's it's a flavorful, bouncy dry. There's a nice candied quality to it too.
Dave, this would be really hard in the calendar.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, really. I would be like, this would be a Sunday whiskey, like a ice cream Sunday whiskey. It's a dessert whiskey.
It's
Mm.
This is the one where you put New World Other
Yeah.
65 plus.
And then
Not
the
age
last,
statement.
category is the FU Charles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we have that category.
Yeah, better. This one's really, I like this one a lot.
Are you, or that category appears once the email goes out or once the whiskey is disclosed. That's when the FU Charles category comes into play.
We don't like to talk about that too much, but yes, it is there.
We're not that competitive,
not bad.
really. So we haven't upped it to that level yet.
Oh, no. None of us are that competitive. No.
Oh no.
Do I detect some sarcasm?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe a little, but
Charles just has to be careful with he'll come on sometimes and be like, kind of act like it was easy on one of the calendar nights when
Yeah.
always.
not easy.
I just don't understand how people could get it wrong.
Yeah.
You give
So
us
easy.
things like this. Yeah.
It's so clear and easy to see. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
Okay. I've just come up with a new strategy for this year. I am going to randomly select a bottle from my kit each night and rate that.
Oh, you might do good.
I might
There you
win.
go.
I'm going to do all age statement whiskeys this year. That's my goal.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm just gonna check that other category, Charles.
The all age statement. But
No, I'm checking
all
that FU Charles category.
You should have an FU Charles box and then at the end see how many FUs you got.
it's a meter. Yeah. It just goes like this as the calendar goes on. It just goes up and up and up.
That was a pretty shallow slope, if you ask me.
Boggles my mind how many people take the bait and really think that Charles is fucking with everybody's head. He's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no method to the madness. Trust me, I'm not.
But nobody believes that. Except me.
There is no method to the madness.
Oh, we just think it's madness, so it's okay.
There's madness to the method.
You know what? We all need madness during the holidays just to get through them.
My granddaughter had a little chocolate calendar. I think I may want to do that next year instead.
Give her the whiskey.
Yeah. Well, no. Okay. I still want the whiskey, but I may do her
okay.
calendar, chocolate calendar.
With just one question every night, chocolate or dark? Chocolate or dark? So you can get 100%.
Milk.
Whiskey pairing, advent calendar, that would drive everybody nuts.
All right.
Do you have to indicate the origin of the chocolate?
No, she's 2, so no, it was just
I meant for Vinny's whiskey and chocolate one.
Oh,
Of course you would have to.
sorry.
All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move.
Let's just do chocolate or something.
Now, I'm not sure about the mash bill of this one, but
What's the barrel finish?
this
Like,
is
what
the
is-
barrel finish reserve.
It doesn't say what.
Yeah, I have
finish.
all of the different barrels here.
Okay, I'll look for.
So this one is their straight rye whiskey. It's called their barrel finish reserve. This is their 2024 blend. And this is a sweet mash rye whiskey that's finished in Cognac, Sauterne,
Oh,
sherry, and PX brandy casks with a touch of toasted French oak. This is 11 barrels. This is 116.8 proof. Oh yeah, RW1. So yeah, 94 rye, 6 barley. Okay. So this goes right back to the RW1 that we had, which was number 3. The casks on this. Cognac, finished for 8. All of these are finished for 8 months. So Cognac, finished for 8 months, 31% of the blend. Sauterne for 8 months, 26% of the blend. PX Sherry, 8 months, 26% of the blend. And PX Brandy, 8 months, 17% of the blend. Blended and rested on toasted, I don't know what the heck this word is, Jupiles French oak. So it's in some French oak there at the end. But yeah, so this is their barrel finish reserve from 2024. And this is, again, playing around with lots of different types of barrels, finishings.
To be honest, though, that chaos that you just listed, I would go into this thinking it's an infinity barrel, like a hodgepodge of, overdone, but there's still a lot of balance. And I don't know who's blending for them, but it's not over oaked, over wined. It still tastes like rye.
Yeah, it's a very subtle finish in a way.
8 months is a long time.
Yeah, no, it is. Maybe
and
because
then,
it's still
then there was something else at the end you said.
yeah,
Then it
it's
was rested and extra toasted.
French
Getting
oak.
some raisins, like dried fruits that you would get from PX.
On the nose, you're definitely picking up some of the barrel types for sure.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm getting really some of the finish smells on the nose. It's
I think this is my favorite so far.
Oh, I like this a lot. Yeah.
It's really well balanced
Yeah,
for everything they put it through.
I'm pretty sure this one's available too in New York. I think the first 5 are all available in New York. We've just only ordered the first 3, but I think the first 5 are all available. And now that we have them open, maybe we bring them in because they'll be easy to taste people on them. So yeah, this is a fun one. This is really good. What they were selling at the distillery, which you're going to actually taste next, is they had some of the individual barrel finishing components of this blend. So what we are going to try next and last is the cognac finish. So that was one of the bottles that I bought at the distillery that we tasted and we really liked and thought it would be fun. That's not available here. This is pretty easy drinking.
I love it. This is great. Fantastic.
Almost 117 proof. It's not bad. Do get
They
more
do
wood.
have the barrel reserve. They have the barrel reserve, and it would be probably about $99.99 on the shelf.
Yeah, which is probably what I paid for it at the distillery. Everything was right around that price, close to 100 or so. for these finished ones or the blends. And I do like the fact that they're putting these things out at cask strength. You know, it would be easy for them to just proof it down and make more bottles, but this is really good at cask strength.
What percentage do they sell of their product? Do they sell at cask strength? The first couple were proof down.
Yeah, but that's it. The next three, which we can get all three of those in New York, are all cask strength. So,
okay, but I guess I was asking in terms of,
I mean, they make
equal, you know, they're making more of their 90 proof, or
yeah, for sure. Yeah, they're going to be selling their lower proof stuff in higher volume, and those are still just 30 barrel blends, but they're batches, right? So they can do a lot of batches. This last one is just 11 barrels, so definitely fewer bottles available. It doesn't even mention a batch, so it might just be this 11 barrels for the 2024. You know, that's it. And they'll come out with a 2025 blend.
So since it's the finishing, they just take one batch of, or less than half of one batch, and divide it up into the 5 different or whatever it was for aging.
Four different, four different barrel types, and then finished or rested and toasted. I never heard of this word. Jupilles, Jupilles. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Jupille, I don't know. French oak. I don't know what that means. It's probably some, maybe even a producer of spirits. Jupille. I don't know.
It's a specific forest in France, particularly known for its oak.
All right, there you go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What do we do without Google?
I know, exactly.
Really don't know.
I'm sure that'll be a trivia question someday.
Yep. Just one more useless piece of knowledge that is now stuck in my brain.
I know that area of France. Pretty sure I've hugged a tree there before.
I've heard about those French trees.
Yeah.
They don't hug back.
Oh, you know what? If you hug a barrel, they get fresh.
Don't hug our barrels out in front of our shop. There's nails sticking out of them, and you'll probably hurt yourself. Just
No, you won't see me hugging any barrels.
I think, Holly, we need to turn our barrels around. You know, those nails that are sticking out into the sidewalk with all these drunk people walking by. I really worry that somebody's gonna just.
Well, those were in the back, but remember someone knocked our barrels over
Yeah.
one night. So
I think
they were for my Christmas lights.
Drunk.
I don't want to stumble into the barrels personally.
If I want to hug a barrel, I have one down the basement. I can hug that.
There you go.
My Penelope barrel.
Everybody should hug a barrel every night. All right. So
I just can't believe I behave better when Anne's not here than when she is here.
yeah, you know, this is
I'm
like
being quiet.
this is a whole different tasting. It's amazing. We miss Anne. We miss Anne for sure.
You do look though like you don't want to be in the middle of the camera
I'm sort of,
because you're so used to sharing the screen.
right. Well, I can't figure out why I'm so fuzzy. I don't have it on.
Hey, you gotta
You're not fuzzy.
Put some lights on.
come to Wilton and get your Brooklyn bagels now.
Did you wipe down the camera on the front of your monitor?
Not with whiskey, no.
No? All right. Just curious if it
Now,
it's worse.
Wasn't my idea.
No, it's better actually. I think it's a little better.
yeah, I can see it real well now.
I think you were breathing too heavy into the camera, Peter.
Mm.
It's because he was hugging some barrels.
Usually my producer gets rid of that.
All right, so we're gonna
Anyway,
move on.
where were we?
We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. This is getting out of control. We're completely out of control. But we're like a billboard for Hard Truth right now. We are now going to what they call their barrel finish reserve. However, this is their cognac finish. So this is it's just 3 barrels.
Really?
Wow.
This type is cognac VSOP. This is only 108 proof, so 54% ABV. It is the RW1, so that same classic mash bill, 94.6. But does it say how long it was in cognac? It might be that 8 months, I'm assuming. It doesn't say it on the bottle, but if this was a component in the finish reserve, then it would just be 8 months. But this is the cognac on its own.
This has got a nice nose. It reminds me of the Ocean's
Oh, Jefferson's Ocean.
Ocean finished in cognac. Yeah, it has a similar smell because I also have a barrel finished in cognac. It all has the same characteristic on the nose. Very nice. I like that nose.
If the straight, if you will, RW1 was 120.6, but these barrel finished are a lot lower in proof. Why would that be?
I mean, who knows? Maybe the 3 barrels that went into this entered in at a lower proof. You know, not everything comes out at that high proof. Now, finishing sometimes can reduce proof too.
And where it was held. I don't know where it was re-racked or.
Yeah. And maybe what time of the year, you know, weather changes and all of that. Yeah, BJ, I remember I was hesitant to buy this because I'm not a big cognac fan. I mean, I don't mind it, but I've never really enjoyed it so much with whiskey. I for whatever reason. But we were able to taste this, and when I tasted it, I was like, all right, I've got to get a bottle of this. And everybody at the few people that were in the shop working there were like, yeah, that's our favorite, the cognac finish. So kind of had to do it.
Could be why there are only 3 barrels left to sell.
I'm not gonna say it's my favorite, but it's damn good.
Yeah, it's really good. Talk about easy drinking. Oh my God.
Very easy.
It's almost like juice. It's like grape juice. It reminds me of yeah, like a children's grape juice box, a little with the straw coming out. A little higher proof, but you know.
Debbie neat whiskey and juice boxes. Oh my God, people get messed up. I think we should do like old fashions in juice boxes.
They need to be cold though.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. Or if it's a mixed drink.
Very nice. Good, good.
This is really good.
Again, I'm getting more wood on these last 2. Do you know how long it was finished in the cognac?
Yeah.
Did they say that? How long?
Yeah. It's got to be that 8 months because it's part of that barrel finish reserve.
It doesn't say on the website.
Yeah,
So.
and it doesn't say on the bottle. But I'm assuming it's the 8 months. So let's go around the small room that we have and see what favorites. What was the number 1, number 2 from everybody? What about you, BJ? Cognac? Oops. You just muted yourself. There you go. There you go.
Okay. I like the cognac, but I also like the barrel finish reserve. I think I just liked all that coming into it. And I think both of those would be good, at the end of dinner.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. You know, what's interesting is, we're starting to see more finishings in bourbon and rye, and it's not an easy thing to do. We've seen a lot of misses when it comes to that, where it just doesn't work. And Doc Swinson's does a pretty decent job with it. Barrel Craft Spirits occasionally does pretty good with it, but it's tough. It's you're talking about contrast flavors sometimes. So yeah, I agree. These last two are really fun. Just because they're unique too, right? When are you ever getting a PX sherry, PX brandy cask and Sauterne on top of that? I mean, come on. So what about you, Audrey? What are you thinking?
Cognac was number one, and the RW1 sweet mash rye was number two for me.
Yeah, I like that one too. Dave, Diane?
I would say my first place is Barrel Finish Reserve, and then the second place was the RW 346 because I love dessert.
All right. I like that one. Yeah, I mean, to tell you the truth, there weren't a lot of ones that missed on this.
Oh no, they were all good. Yeah. That's absolutely true.
How about you, Diane?
I'm so confused anymore. I don't know. I don't know.
She likes them all.
I like them all.
All right, that's a good answer. Good answer. Peter?
I think I like the 346
Okay.
the best. And I thought I liked the RW1 better than the cognac, but revisiting them, I'm not sure. But
Okay.
probably the RW1 as the second.
The 346 a little bit reminds us of Mad River a little bit, right? With that chocolate malt.
The Revolution Rye?
Yeah, the Revolution Rye, yeah. Holly, what about you?
The barrel finish reserve.
All right.
It's my favorite, but I love the high road rye because it's a soft, sweet.
Yeah.
So that's definitely my favorite of the core.
Okay. Yeah. What about you, Vinny?
Barrel Finish Reserve.
Nice. That seems to be the winner tonight, the Barrel Finish Reserve. Nice.
Well done.
Is that your favorite, Charles? Or what's your?
I don't know. There's like two or three that are all about the same to me, that none of them like jump ahead.
You have to pick.
I have to pick?
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably go with the 346. Because it's got that. I love that the caramel malt and the chocolate malt notes on it. I think that's really fun and pretty easy sipping as well. I mean, I love the RW one, the cask strength as well. That I thought that was really good. The finishes are great. Don't get me wrong. They're all kind of in that same level for me. But the 346, I don't know, because it's so unique. I mean, the finishes are too, so that's why it's hard. It's really hard. I would say 346. But all right, guys. Anybody have any other questions? Or I know this was a quick night tonight, small group. We didn't have a guest. We initially were planning on having the Northeast brand ambassador join us, and for whatever reason that didn't work out, and we kept pushing the date, and we're like, you know what, we're just going to do it ourselves. We have these bottles on our shelf, let's just go ahead and do it for the club.
And this was great research too, because I'm already looking at what's available in New York, and you all helped us decide what we want to bring in. So we're going to be bringing in the barrel finish. And then I want to get their weeded bourbons in too. So something else for everyone to try when they come in. Yeah, this is just not even, it's a quarter of what they do.
Yeah, they do a lot. And I think we're only going to hear more and more coming out of Indiana. So Starlight and Hard Truth
Yeah.
and others. I mean, there's others in India, Middle West. Well, that's Ohio, but a lot of that area is making a lot of whiskey right now. So
I got
It's amazing they can make good whiskey outside of Kentucky. It's
oh my
shocking.
God, what is going on? This world is going to hell.
I got quite the Starlight collection. I'm loving that.
Yeah.
You know. Of
We
course,
had last night at the monthly dram a Starlight bourbon finished in honey. That was a master distiller pick. Oh my God, it was delicious.
So good.
And Starlight is that never rule it out story.
Yeah.
Because remember, Charles, like back before we opened the shop, we talked a little bit about Starlight and we were like on the fence.
Yeah.
You know, they were still kind of new and they've just really come into this sweet spot where, I mean, everything that we're tasting is like hitting its mark finally. So you can't rule a distillery out.
Think about this lineup that we had tonight. I mean, nothing was off. Everything was hitting just in different ways, right? That's a pretty great intro, right, to a distillery that's making their own spirit. I don't know.
This is very new to New York. What, just a couple since earlier this year?
Yeah, just a few months. So, pretty fun, pretty good stuff to look forward to with Truth and others as well. So,
a question that occurred to me, even though usually rye and wheat are considered the small grains, but does anybody make a wheated rye? And what would that be like?
so rye, a rye that's got
Rye with a wheat component.
I don't think I've seen that, but have you seen that, Holly? I don't think I've seen that. Yeah.
Is it just not done, or it'd be nasty?
I'm sure we'll see it soon. Rye, unlike bourbon, has been left to a few producers since, 10 years ago. If you were drinking American rye, you were drinking MGP.
Oh no, old overcoat.
Yeah, I mean, some Heaven Hill, but there was no experimentation like there is in bourbon mash bills. So with 4 grains and, all these different. So I'm sure it's something we'll see, in the next couple of years, I would think, probably.
well, that malting rye, and I love the malted rye. Those are just top notch.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, who knows? Rye is a tricky grain as well, and maybe wheat and rye don't work well together. I mean, it's a possibility. I'm
You
sure
don't see high malt either, like just malted barley, and I mean you do on the low scale of malted barley, but like a 49-51, I've never seen, but you see that with corn.
right.
So
Yeah, I mean, wheat is a pretty powerful grain as well. Think of Journeyman and some of the other 100% wheaters that we've had. I don't know. Maybe I'm sure people have tried it. It's not that nobody's tried it. We just haven't really seen anything that's been released.
Probably failure. They haven't hit the right. I mean, I've seen bourbons that have no rye and just malted barley, like the barrel we picked from Kings County.
Yeah, right. 80-20. Yeah.
So that was phenomenal.
That's really great. Actually, we had somebody in today. It was like, the worst lost lantern I ever had was the Saratoga Summer. I was like, what? Like,
no way. I mean, it's
what? Get out of my shop. No, I'm just kidding. I was just like, wow.
no, we were very diplomatic. We said, oh, that's surprising.
The thing is, I don't think he knew that we were the shop that actually did that.
Everyone's palate is different. It's fine.
It's very high proof, and some people don't really know how to handle that.
No, he liked proof. Proof wasn't an issue for him.
He didn't like our Augusta either, so I just don't think he likes our palates.
Yeah, and sometimes that happens. Your palate's going to be off compared to somebody else. So it's all good. It's all good.
Look at Fort Hamilton and another great barrel pick on a rock.
Yeah, that'll be good. And Holly told me I can't come on that one, so
Oh, okay.
Sure, it will be horrible, but
You know what, Charles? I'll bring you back a pie.
I just wanted to be part of the process. But I'm being. She didn't hear any of that, so
We'll bring you back a consolation.
Oh, for Hamilton?
yeah.
Yes, we'll bring them.
Yeah, we have to plan that.
We'll have to bring back a pie for Spumoni Gardens. Consolation prize.
Now, Fort Hamilton
Yeah.
is the Fort Hamilton Distillery
I
in Fort Hamilton.
check it out because you gave me the cards for the cocktails. He lives,
Yeah, it's in the city. Mhm.
yeah, it's actually in Brooklyn's industrial,
Are they using Gowanus water?
industrials. Yeah, it's up by the Gowanus Canal, so it's possible. But I gave my brother the cocktail things because he actually lives down that area, so he's going to give me the lowdown. But I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be good.
I just hope you guys pick a good barrel. That's all I can say. If it doesn't sell like the Kings County, then
Maybe
because I didn't go to Brooklyn, but
But later, we Gardens. We go to Portobello, which is owned by my former student Andy.
at Spumoni Gardens though, Vinny, you're gonna have to get a vegetarian pizza. You know that, right?
Well, yeah, I guess so.
But they make them with free range vegetarians. So
I'll eat a salad.
Otherwise, we go to Portobello. My former student Andy owns the restaurant. Okay, he'll make you a nice broccoli rabe.
There you go.
If he can tell me where the pork came from, I'll eat it.
Oh my God, that's not true. I tell you where the pork comes from, and you still don't eat it.
He does the best broccoli rabe ever, except for me.
Okay, I'll eat broccoli.
All right. On that note, we're gonna start tasting tonight. And I hope you got a little. I hope you found the truth behind Hard Truth tonight.
it was hope.
Nice tasting.
We should say at the end of all of our tastings, drink responsibly.
Oh yes. Do not leave your house right now.
Yeah.
Stay home. Get a good night rest, and tomorrow you can leave.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, have a good night. I'm going to wrap
Thanks.
up here, and we'll see you when the sun shines. All right.
That's good.
Thank you.
Night.
Right.
Night.